Hi everyone, hey people, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are good. It's just Yesterday this year, popularly known as Jay, and you're welcome to the second episode of the first season of the Intentional Flow podcast. Yay! We're doing it, guys. Remember, progress over perfection. We're going to try to keep it cute and simple. Amen. Alright, so first off, before I dive into what today's topic is, I want to say a very big thank you, a very big thank you to everyone who sent me birthday wishes, who sent me well wishes, who sent prayers, who sent me gifts, who sent me money, people who shared the podcast links. You guys are the real MVPs. Thank you for promoting this new baby of ours. Thank you so much for supporting the J brand. Thank you so much for supporting the IF podcast. I really appreciate every single love that was shown to me, and I do not for a second take any of it for granted. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all the love you guys showed to me on my birthday. Wow, it was overwhelming. And if I'm my heart, my birthday continues to the end of the month. So yes, do well to keep sending the birthday wishes, do well to keep sending the gifts, do well to keep sending the money. To those of you who said my birthday gift is coming, I'm still expecting it. Yes, it's still my birthday month. Thank you guys so much once again. I really appreciate it. For all the love and the feedback we got on the episode 1, thank you so much for giving your comments, your 2 cents. Thank you so much for the feedback. I appreciate it so much, and you can be rest assured I'm going to implement every single one of them that can be implemented. Alright, so let's just get right into today's topic. Last week episode, I said I was going to come with my water, right? I brought it. Yes, okay. As you can see, the shield gone. So before I continue, let me just take a sip. You got there. Alright, so moving on to today's topic, we're going to be talking about communication. And the reason why I decided to make this the second topic was because I feel like a lot of us are still struggling with it. I was actually struggling with communication for the longest time till I think last year, when I learned certain things, and it has helped, and I just felt like, you know what, let me just share it and get you guys thoughts and opinions, and you get your 2 cents on everything I'm going to say and how you've been effectively communicating. Hopefully someone learns, unlearns, and will learn something from today's episode. As usual, I wrote down my points so I don't go overboard, because if you leave it up to me, I'll just keep talking without full stop. So this keeps me in check. So I wrote down communication skills that are needed for effective communication. First is active listening. As humans, we need to learn to listen. People will say that's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Like, imagine you've got 2 mouths on our face. It will be terrible, because just this one that we have it's causing a lot of problems in this world. Active listening. You need to learn to listen more than you talk. Imagine you being in an argument with someone. Now, both sides are trying to air their opinions. The only way you both can communicate effectively is if you both learn to listen more than you talk. And I'm not just saying listening, I'm saying listening to understand. Now, yes, you have your own point. The other party also has their own point. You could be right, they could also be right. For you guys to solve and reach a middle ground, you both have to be able to listen to each other. And even those who even claim to listen, what they are listening for is holes. They want to pick holes in what the next person is saying so they can use it against the person when they want to speak. But no, learning to listen, to understand, not to argue is the aim. Whether you offended someone or they offended you, or you guys are trying to settle an argument, or you guys are trying to reach a compromise, or it's just like normal communication between 2 people, the fact that you're right doesn't make the other party wrong. The fact that your opinion is correct doesn't make the other person's opinion invalid. The fact that, okay, fine, there's a point in what you're saying doesn't mean there's no point in what the other person is saying. But you would not always know this if you don't calm down and listen to what the person is saying. The second communication skill I feel everyone needs to have is the skill of observing. That's why we have the eyes. You need to learn to observe people's body language when they speak. You need to learn to observe some underlining things that they don't say when they speak, because they also form part of what you are communicating, what you're trying to say. Because sometimes people don't even have the words to express themselves. So it is when you're able to read their body language, read their mannerism and everything, that you'll be able to say, oh, okay, I feel like this person is really pained by what I say. Okay, I feel like this person, maybe what I said is awful, but probably the person is not really pained. The next point is respect. Above all, you need to learn to respect people when you're communicating with them. I would never for the life of day understand why people feel it is okay to insult and throw harsh words when you're communicating with someone. See, I use my hands a lot. I'm very sorry. I need to keep it still. I mean, that your voice is raised and you're using abusive words doesn't make what you're saying right. Doesn't mean that what you're saying will be heard. Doesn't make your point sensible. Do you understand? So during communication, it is very, very important for both parties to respect each other. You have to, even if you don't agree with my opinion, you don't agree with what I'm saying, you have to respect it and respect me. Like the moment you start shouting and throwing words at each other, then you guys are not communicating anymore. That you're the loudest in the room doesn't mean you're right. That you're the loudest in the room doesn't mean that what you're saying will be heard. It only means you're rude, you're disrespectful, and you're uncultured. Being able to respect yourself and respect the other party during an argument is a communication skill I feel everyone needs to possess. I've watched a lot, and I'm going to use BBN Nigeria as an example. It's one of the reasons why I get tired of watching those argument scenes, because the only thing I'm hearing is just F word and people throwing insults at each other. And when I'm like, okay, fine, this person has offended you, this person has hurt your feelings and everything. They're trying to make this person understand that what he did is bad or is hurtful, or you get it got to you and everything. And you feel the right way to pass that across is to all insult at them. It has never worked. Like, you guys should give me one moment. If you are being honest with yourself, sit down, think about it, and tell me one moment where your voice being the loudest has solved anything. Or tell me one moment where you've been in a place where there's an argument and the person who has the loudest voice ends up being right. Or tell me one moment where shouting, both of you shouting, has solved anything. It never does. You both need to learn to respect each other, and in the space and in the face of that argument, in the face of that anger, in the face of the emotions flying everywhere, respect still has to top everything, because that's the only way you guys are going to be able to reach a middle ground. That leads me to the next point, which is empathy. Yes, you have to respect people, and you also have to have empathy for the other person. Yes, they've hurt your feelings, they've said something that is hurtful to you, and obviously at that point, most times what you're trying to do is get back at them. I know I've been in that position where someone actually did something that hurts me, and the only thing in my head is I want to shout at you back and make you feel what I'm feeling. And I might actually say it subtly, like I might actually say it very quietly, very calmly, but the words I'm going to say would definitely be targeted at hurting you. Understanding that, okay, the fact that this person has done, for example, this person has done something wrong and I'm trying to correct them, I'm trying to make them see that, oh, okay, this thing they did is wrong, doesn't mean I have to drag their ego from 100 to 0. You know how people say they don't care about how you feel, they just want to tell you the truth. They are very blunt. No one says you should not tell the other person the truth, but there are ways you can actually say. You have to understand that at the end of the day, they are still humans and they have feelings. And whatever you say, you cannot take them back. You know how they say words, they're like eggs, and once they drop, they break, and that's it. You can't pick them back and try to make them into a hole. Once you said it, you said it. You can't take them back. So think before you actually talk, putting the other party's feelings into perspective. My next point is volume and clarity, especially during verbal communication. You have to, if you're going to express yourself, then you need to be vocal enough for the other party to hear you. You know how, okay, I've seen this happen, I've seen this play out, where you want to say something to someone and you're trying to express yourself, and because maybe there's been an argument, everywhere is tense and everything, and then you're like talking under your breath because you don't want them to hear what you're saying, so that you can pick on it that you are saying something and they are not responding or they're not giving feedback. You get, just to start another fight. No, if you want to communicate, then you need to put volume, put loudspeaker, not loudspeaker, but yes, put volume in your voice and make sure the other party can hear you so they can understand you clearly. There has to be clarity in your voice. Speak so the other party can hear you. Now, the next point is confidence. Now, if you know that what you are saying is your truth, then you need to learn to speak your truth with confidence. Respectfully, but yes, with confidence. Know that, okay, fine, this is how you feel, this is your truth, this is what you think about whatever it is that has happened or is happening, and you want to pass across your message to the person. You have to be able to do it with confidence. No need to be ashamed to say what you want to say. Alright, so the next is non-verbal cues. Yes, all those underlining things that people don't see. You can only see these things in their mannerism, you can see these things in their body language. For example, someone is trying to communicate with you and maybe they are rolling their eyes. Depending on what they are saying, that is something you should pay attention to. Someone is trying to talk to you, you're trying to express yourself to someone and they are on their phone. That is something you should actually pay attention to, especially when whatever it is you're trying to express to them, if it's a very serious conversation, they have to stop and listen to you and hear you out. That shows they're interested in whatever it is you want to say and they respect you to want to listen to you. Not I am on my phone and then you are trying to have a serious discussion. They are passing a message to you when they are doing that. So if you're going to compete with someone, be mindful of your body language, be mindful of those non-verbal signs that could take place. Alright, so the last but not the least is feedback and response. Now, for communication to be effective, then there has to be feedback and there has to be response. So when one party talks, the other party has to give feedback. That's how communication happens. That is how you guys can resolve issues. That is how you can send and pass information. That is how you guys can reach a compromise. When one person speaks, the other party is listening, then vice versa, and there's feedback and response at the end of the day. Whatever it is you're trying to communicate, whatever it is you're trying to pass across, there has to be feedback and response at the end of the day. That's the only way you can say effective communication has taken place. Active listening, you have to be able to listen. Both parties have to be able to listen to understand and not just to pick holes. Observation, you have to be able to observe everything, including the non-spoken things, the verbal language and everything. Respect. No matter what the situation is, no matter what the issue is, you have to learn to respect the other party. Whether you're angry or not, respect has to be at the top of your mind. Empathy. You have to understand that the other person's feelings matter. And so, whatever you say, you can't pick it back. So you have to apply emotional intelligence when you are trying to express yourself. Volume and clarity. You have to speak so the other person can hear you and you have to speak very, very clearly. Confidence. If you are sure what you want to say, if you are sure it's your truth, then you have to learn to speak with confidence. It's non-verbal cues. You have to understand that those things that you don't say also speak volume. The fact that you don't say them does not mean they don't matter. They speak volume. And the last but not the least is feedback and response. When you speak to people, you expect feedback and you should actually get feedback and response. Alright, so that's all I have for you guys for this episode. I hope you learned something. Let me know your thoughts and your feedback on communication. Let me know the other things, the other ways you feel people can actually communicate effectively, or something you've done that has helped your communication life. Let's know in the comment section. I'll be reading and responding to you guys. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe and share this with someone else. You don't know who would need it. Don't forget to follow us on @The Intentional Flow Podcast. You can also follow me at Just Eunice. Send an email to us if you want to at theintentionalflowpodcast@gmail.com, or you can send a personal email to me at justeunice@gmail.com, whichever one works for you. And I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye. Stay good, stay blessed, and stay happy.